If I knew then what I know now, sometimes I wonder, would I be the same or would I
silence me? But the warrior in me would never give up. You'll see, through trials and tribulations, I'll keep the fight alive. With courage in my heart, I will continue to strive. You may throw obstacles in my way. In the face of darkness, I stand tall and strong. In the face of darkness, I stand tall and strong. With faith as my shield, I'll keep marching on. You may try to bring me down. You may. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Well, night, morning. Oh, it's already 12:16. Damn. I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble day. This y'all shorty Racheal. Right, I want to welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. I know it's a little dark up in this joint, but it's nighttime. Like, I don't see the point of having the lights on right now. Plus, we're gonna be doing probably some reviews and reactions, right? Before we get this joint started, right, man. It's been a lot of conversations that I've been having with a lot of parents, right? We've been talking about the system, right? The justice system, about all the stuff that's happening, right? From that to the human trafficking to what's happening right now in politics, right? And it's crazy that I can honestly say that I've been listening to a lot of people. I got a little freaking moth in here. How did y'all get in here? I've been listening to a lot of people, right? And one thing that that got me to thinking, right, what's crazy is, right, from listening to a lot of people, right, I don't know how many of y'all watch TV, right? I mean, I love watching TV, especially crime shows, right? Law and Order. I'm gonna catch this little fucking moth. I'm gonna get on my Mr. Miyagi bag. And stuff like that, right? Recently, I've been watching SWAT with my baby pops, and it's crazy, right? You know how we talk about racism out here, right? Well, even though I know the real term, the real meaning of the word racism, but everybody else, uses it for something else, right? And it took me a minute to learn the real terminology, the real, meaning behind it, right? Who came up with it and everything. But it's crazy, right? We talk about, right, how we got, police violence, right? The police versus the civilians, right? We got happy trigger cops out here and stuff like that. But one thing that I never took the chance to, right, even think about or analyze, right? We go through, what they say we go through, right? And I say it like that because for their puppet masters, puppets with strings attached to their backs waiting for their puppet master's next command, right? Oh, you're talking to Gary. I'm like, you are something. I'm tripping. You know what, Ray? Go ahead before you lose concentration. Like I said, I feel like people are, puppets waiting for, their with strings attached to their backs waiting for their master's next command, right? I feel as though, right, that every individual, right, every citizen, right, every civilian, however you want to call yourself, every human, right, has their own experience, right? I feel as though each one, right, is proved within themselves of how much, right, they can accomplish and how far they can go, how far they've gotten. I feel as though that people are looking for others for the solution when the solution lies within us, right? And I've been saying that for a while. And it's crazy, right? Because I can go to the politicians, they love my ideas, right? I've gone on live and said the same thing in community meetings, right? That I've said right here on these lives. The same thing I'm saying to you, I say in between these community conversations, right? These hood conversations. That's what I mostly call them, right? And I want, once again, listening to the people, right? And then going back into history, right? Listening to how, I'm gonna call them martyrs, people that actually, sacrificed themselves. I can't pronounce the word right. All right, don't laugh at it, shorty. Martyrs. I'm gonna keep practicing on that, man. But anyways, right? Malcolm X and a whole bunch more, right? And I hear so many people say Malcolm X, but all I get people, I feel as though people only understand by any means necessary. But I feel as though there's ways, right? And what's crazy is, right, a lot of us within our conversations, right, spit out the solution. But what's crazy is, right, shout out to Gary Bust It Down, shout out to the word. Shout out to Nate the Great Podcast. Shout out to Kwame Brown, right? Shout out to Papa Duck. Shout out to these men that come on like We Unlock Nation. There's a few more. Oh shit. Let me not forget about Realist Show, because I should be showing some love more often to Realist, because he be having them dope conversations in the early mornings. And like I sit here and I listen to him, and it's like I'm listening to the majority of the men here in my community. It's crazy. But make sure y'all go check them out, because it's crazy that these men bring out and they talk about these topics though. They talk about these topics, they bring awareness to these topics, right? And it's rare to have these type of men, right? But it's crazy as shit, right? That it's rare to see them online. But I see a lot of them out here putting in that footwork. And I respect these men, right? Because a lot of people come on here for bullshit, but they come on here and they speak their minds, right? And they draw the attention. They got that swag. And that's what you need, right? When you come out here and you speak to these politicians, right? And what's crazy is, right, that a lot of them, right, and sometimes I feel like, listen, right, I know I'm going everywhere, but just listen and pay attention, right? Because it's crazy. I want to get it all out, but sometimes it's hard, right? Like, I go to these politicians, right, and they like my ideas. They love my opinions, right? They pay attention to everything that I'm listening. The crazy part about it is, right, a shorty is not in a situation that she was in a couple years back, right? What's even more crazier is, right, before I had my daughter, before the situation happened with my son, right, in the school district, I never in a million years would have thought that I had one foot in politics and one foot in these streets. Never in a million years would I have thought that people would be looking at me like a community activist, like a leader of my community, trying to bring resources. Like for right now, you know what? That's a topic for another live. Chill. You're gonna make this longer, right? So what's crazy is, right, that I feel as though that if a lot of these people say it, right, shout out to these men too, right? Because a lot of men don't speak about this. They prefer to come online and bring drama, talk drama, right? Listen, let's say, I don't know why men come online and they get zesty, but females do it too, right? So we cannot even get testy. I'm gonna be very honest about that. Men come on this John and they get zesty, but females do it too. So we can't even get testy, for real, for real. But we got a lot of men on here that come, right, and they speak with their chest out, right, and they got their boots on, putting that footwork out here, right, and the majority of them. So I am grateful and I appreciate these men out here bringing awareness to the same topics that I do bring out here, right, because I hear so many excuses, so many excuses, so many people saying they want change, they want this and they want that, right? But all I hear is excuses. Is it possible that us civilians and the police force, right, can get along? I feel as though there is a way. I mean, is there crooked cops out there? Yeah. The same way we got people out here turning on, the people in their own communities, people turning on their own families, right? They say that only the white man, right, is racist. Only the white man has hate in their heart. So what do we have when we're, shooting bullets out in the air like it's the 4th of July, right? Who we hitting? We hitting grannies, we hitting grandpas, we hitting aunties, uncles that don't deserve them bullets. We got men out here, we got women out here that call themselves to be assassins, but they missed their target. Now we hitting babies in the crib, we hitting toddlers trying to hide under a bed. Like, come on, let's be real about this shit. Everything, how can I say it? We want change, right? It's gonna have to start within us, within each individual, within each human, right? Work with yourself first, right? Because what's crazy, right? I give a shout out to Gary Busted Down and the word for yesterday for trying to motivate me, right? Like, it's like, go ahead, do the mayor thing. It's crazy is everybody tells me that, right? And I'm grateful for these two men for trying to motivate me. But I feel as though, one, that's gonna slow my mission down. Two, I feel as though that shorty got to stack that bread up, right? And let's put it like this: a shorty got a little bit of Malcolm, a shorty got a little bit of Griselda, a shorty got a little bit of Martin Luther King in her. I got a little bit of everything. Shit, maybe probably a little bit of Lilith, but no, see, because I don't want to be like a man. So no, let me take her out. My bad. I was seeing myself as a bad girl for a second, so I threw Lilith in there. Shit. But damn, I feel as though the change is there. And I know people don't want to hear it, right? But let me tell you something, right? A lot of us are perfect examples that we can be changed, that there could be change. A lot of us are doing things that not in a million years we thought that we could do before, right? Never in a million years that I see myself talking to politicians to try to make a change in my neighborhood. I'm not sitting here, going to the president because the president can't help me in this situation. And I'm not bringing nobody down. It may sound like a shot, but I'm telling y'all reality. I'm telling y'all the facts. My aim is always going to be towards, the politicians, the legislators, right? That's going to be my aim. That's who I go to. That's who I speak to, because I feel as though that, it doesn't matter what president is in office, they cannot help us with the changes within our communities. It doesn't matter what state you're in, what city you're in, right? If you feel as though that you think that you need a change done, the people that you need to go hit up are the mayors, governors, senators, these DAs, all of them. Those are the ones that y'all need to be hitting up, demanding and asking for what it is that y'all need and want. But we live in an era where everything is done backwards. Like I sometimes like in the lyrical poem that I have, right? If I could sit here, right, and turn back the hands of time, right, and fix the mistakes that were done in the past, right, I would. But then what's crazy, right? This is about to lead into a whole nother topic. What's crazy is, right, that a lot of us have a past with us, right? And that past could, some people's past could make them and it could break them. And like I tell a lot of people, my past, right? My past almost broke me, but it made me, right? And if what's crazy is, right, I hated what happened to me for the longest. But it took a minute for me to realize, right, that if I wouldn't have went through what I went through, if I wouldn't have went through that pain and learned how to overcome that pain, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. I wouldn't be able to help other women. What's crazy is, right, I've said it a few times, but I don't think a lot of people have caught on. When I was younger, I had two dreams. One was to become an SVU detective, and the other one was to become a chef. Those were my two dreams, right? But the anger that I had in me, and there was a possibility of me accomplishing these dreams, but I chose the dark path. A lot of people choose a dark path. And a shorty did for a while. I was unleashing that anger that I had in me because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to deal with it. And what's crazy is, right, all I had to do was turn that pain into motivation. Turn that pain into motivation and figure out what type of woman I want to be and what type of future I want. And then get there. Climb that ladder and get there. No matter what the situation is, there's no going back. There's no turning back. All I got to do is put one foot in front of the other and continue to do what I got to do. And I know it's not easy, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear about this, but if you pay attention, right, a lot of the stuff that's been said, right, I'm starting to say, right, that a lot of them I'm going to X out as conspiracy theories because I don't see them as conspiracy theories. They're coming to reality. It's just people don't want to talk about it. Some people are scared to talk about it. And in certain places like here on YouTube, hey, they might censor you and strike your, channel for it. But guess what? I don't get tired of saying this shit. There's no way in hell that anybody's going to get a shorty to get censored. I mean, it's going to take a lot to censor me. I got opinions and I got questions. And I do a hell of a lot of research, man. But it is so much, right? A lot of us, I used to say surviving warriors, right? But shout out to the word. And once again, like I said, right, I can't leave this link right now because I got so many tabs open. But if I do got a mind, make sure y'all check leave words link down below, right? Make sure y'all go check him out, right? Because like I said before, he'll break this John down, and I'm thankful for him for showing, like, how can I say it, explaining these things, right? Being a big bro to a shorty here on YouTube, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and say, right, and deny the fact that this man has taken me under his wing here on social media, right? So, like, regardless of anything, right, I can sit here and say I consider him, family. Hey, he's earned that. Like, he's a real big brother, like. But like I was saying, right, like, a lot of us don't know how to deal with these type of situations, and at one point in time we may, unleash this anger not knowing what we're doing. But you know and the reason for that is, right, it's because we push away those that are right there for us. And what's crazy is, right, we know that they're right, but we still go, right, and we jump into that lava, we jump into that fire, into that smoke, right, not giving a crap, not caring about what happens or the consequences, until boom, you bump your head, till boom, you fall down that ladder and you got to pick yourself back up. And then only when you're alone is when you really figure out and you know who's there for you, who's riding for you. Because what's crazy is, not everybody that's riding for you, not everybody that's riding with you is for you. That's the crazy part about it, right? I don't understand, a lot of people, right? But shit, my trust could go only but so far. Let me see. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change. Is it this one? You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change. They want to make a difference, but this world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one. Nowadays, your friends turn into enemies, and your family members are your biggest haters. They see you accomplished. What's even more crazy is that they say as time pass by, it will heal everything. Shit. I seen time flash by and it revealed everything, leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror saying, girl, yeah, everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So if you haven't walked them all in my shoes, take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure that when you cross me, you look both ways, and that's on everything. But that's some real shit, man. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this stuff, right? They don't care about talking about this stuff, right? I am going to leave the link right down below for anybody that wishes to come up and talk, right? That's what we're here for. So let's talk about it. Anybody wishes to come up, talk, y'all more than welcome. But in a minute, I'm going to start doing these reactions, right, on the current news, right? And there's so much going on, right? We got a North Texas teen beat up and left on the side of the road. We got a 19-year-old charged with murder after deadly robbery of tattoo artist, right? We got a mom, right, that's grieving her 1-year-old son, right, due to a domestic shooting. Bird flu concerns in New York, right? We got a Brooklyn teenager wrongly accused by the NYPD. You see what I'm saying? Like, let me see if I don't think I got the let me see. Do I got the poem for? Nope, I don't got the poem for the trigger happy cops. Let me see, but I got this one right here. Hold on one second. In the land of the free, laws guide our way, but some turn a blind eye, letting warriors sway. Knowledge is power, in rights we find might. As civilians, it's crucial to stand up and fight. Justice is served when we know what's at stake. Ignoring our laws leaves room for mistake. Warriors defend us with all their might, but as civilians, we must also shine light. To uphold our freedom, to keep justice in sight, we must educate ourselves on what's wrong and what's right. Let's not sit idle while warriors bear the load. As civilians, let's rise and share the same code. And that's a fact. I feel like it's too many people, like I said, once again, making excuses, giving up, waiting for, I guess, the government to give them whatever it is for. Listen, we're going to have to do something, right? And we're going to have to better ourselves in order for us to come together. Because what we need is more unity. Like, I don't know why people keep thinking that Superman's gonna come and rescue them, but they not. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change, they want to make a difference, but still stuck in the same phase. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to chase a bag, but stay at home and nag. Then when you ask them what they need,
They say less talking, more opinions, no prayers with division. You ask me, y'all need to focus more on revision, rely less on television. How you want a future you have no vision? This world is just like fiction. What we need is more talking, less opinions, more prayers with no division. Before you come up with a conclusion, giving people false illusions, pick up a book, do your research, learn your history before you end up in a ditch making history. Division in religion isn't working. The only way to show God our faith and love is through our actions. Our convictions is the only thing that really unite us. One God, one nation, different beliefs. There's words that can't fly with the wind. There's insults that are not violent. Meanwhile, while you're holding them, they're killing you on the inside. If I was to tell you that I didn't hurt, I would be lying. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that there's truths that lie, especially when they're telling you that they're indifferent? Getting shoved to the side because you're different. There's a hug out there someone didn't receive today. Probably because of what was said about them yesterday. Probably because of the way they was dressed today. Not realizing that the one that they hate could be the one that saves their day. But you know what? Thanks to them, it's another day in history where you get to flip the pages to your book and speak your story. And Lord, it's unholy. But you know what hurts the most? As I walk down the street and I see how easily we're divided. When we all should be united. One body, one mind, one soul, a million talents. Lord, without you, we're all divided. Forgive them, Lord, for they don't know any better. They don't know that there's someone out there that loves them.
And that's true. Sometimes a lot of us need to learn a lot of discipline, how to self-respect, right? Because at the end of the day, like I've said before, how can you claim to love somebody else when you don't even love yourself? How can you respect anybody else when you can't even respect yourself? Like, and people out here, right, looking at other people's pockets, expecting to come up. How? When you're you're stranded. You're stranded in a fantasy island. You know why you're standing in that fantasy island? Because while you're staring at this person's pockets and they're going up, you're right there, still stuck in the air with a head full of air. Like this shit, this stuff be crazy with people, Like, I just keep hearing it. Excuse after excuse, excuse after excuse. We can't make a change. We can't, but y'all want it, right? Guess what? It ain't gonna be Superman coming to give it to y'all. Y'all gonna have to get off y'all asses, get off them couches, right? Get off your mama's couch, get off your daddy's couch, pop your mama's nipple out your mouth, right? And go do some shit. Because it is not coming to you. Oh, look at the employee. My bad. So we're about to get this joint started, man. Like I said, man, change starts within us, right? I could say so much more, but I'm not going to go into an hour of just boring everybody about me, with me just talking and saying what I perceive saying what I perceive out here, right? So we're going to get into these reviews and these reactions because I don't plan on being here all night, but I appreciate everybody that's been on this joint, right? That's showing the shorty support. Man, I appreciate everybody that shares a video, shorty's videos, right? That helps her bring awareness and much more, yo. I really do appreciate y'all, man. And I also appreciate those that have come on panel, right? Spoke their stories and have been brave enough, right? To motivate somebody out there. Because believe it or not, everybody that's been on here, some way, somehow, has motivated somebody out there. And that's what matters, right? Like I tell everybody, we got these panels, right? And it's not to bring nobody down, right? To bash nobody. I ain't debating nobody. Unless you got some actual proof behind yourself and you can shut my mouth up, we're not going back and forth all day for days. Nah, for real. Unless you got a solution, right? This ain't the channel for you. This ain't the spot for you. Because my opinions are going to hurt you. And it's happened in the past. And guess what? I'm not apologizing for no opinions, right? Sorry, but not sorry. I mean, shit, people get tired of that shit. Like, you gotta keep apologizing for giving an opinion. Nah, ain't nobody got time for that. So once again, let's get these reviews and reactions started. And a big shout out to my day one subscribers, right? And my new subscribers. Because like I've said before, if it wasn't for y'all, a shorty wouldn't have made it this far. And I really do appreciate y'all. So let's get this video started. North Texas teen beat her up and left on the side of the road. Yo, that is crazy. 18-year-old beat up. Like, why would they target this 18-year-old? But we're about to see.
If you saw Kayla Horn, you notice she's always smiling. In this video, you'll notice her passion. But she wants you to look at her right now.
Oh, snap.
I was tumbling on the street. Like I thought I was going to die.
The 18-year-old, beaten by people she trusted. Her face nearly unrecognizable, cuts all over her hands and her body. And this is her Aunt Jessica sitting beside her.
This could have happened to anybody. She could have been dead. We couldn't have had her here today.
It happened early Sunday morning. Fort Worth police say they got a call of a robbery near the 6600 block of Brentwood Stair Road just before 6 a.m. Earlier that morning, Kayla says she and her other friend, who was 18, met up with several other people who were older. They were drinking and went out to an after-hours club. Kayla says she stayed in the car and wasn't feeling well. She says she threw up in the car. And she says when the others came back to the vehicle, they were upset.
And out of nowhere, one of the girls had punched me in my mouth and my jaw. We just kept getting beat on.
She says they took her phone, money, and jewelry, then pushed her outside of the car, leaving her on the side of the road.
Nobody should have been drinking. Nobody should have been driving. You just don't do something like that to somebody.
Fort Worth police say they are charging the suspects with aggravated robbery.
I don't know why they're not getting charged with more, because they try to kill her.
And while this 18-year-old just wants the bruises on her face to heal, she's stuck with the fact that her trust in others was broken.
Something needs.
Why were they only? Yeah, the mom makes a point. Why they only getting charged with aggravated robbery? How about assault? Look how they left her face. They could have almost killed her. They had a couple charges here. Listen, if this was my child, oh man, I'm telling you, man. All I can say is I thank God, right, for blessing me to have the mentality that I do now. Because sometimes, my head goes back to the mentality that I had back then. Like, man, we ain't talking. I ain't listen. 911. What's your emergency? Bring that orange suit. Bring them handcuffs. Have a lawyer ready for me. Cause the old me, this would have happened to my child, boy. The new me, I will try to let the justice system handle it. But if they don't do what they gotta do, listen, the old me gotta come out.
This to be done.
In Tarrant County, I'm Richard Solomon.
I don't know about y'all. How many of y'all believe that there was more charges that they should have charged the assailants with, but they just charged them with aggravated assault? What happened to aggravated robbery? Y'all also had aggravated assault and assault. And I forgot what the other ones are. Oh, see? Snap. There's a couple more assaults, a couple more charges y'all could have charged them with, but y'all didn't. Let us shorty know what y'all think and feel about that video. We're going to move on to the next video. 19-year-old charged with murder after deadly robbery of tattoo artist. Damn. So did she rob the tattoo artist, or was it that the tattoo artist was trying to rob her?
Happens. A 19-year-old Indianapolis woman is charged with murder after a deadly shooting on Indy's Near East Side. Fox 59's Jesse Wells explains what police believe led to that killing and why additional suspects may also face charges.
According to court records, the 19-year-old suspect came to this house behind me under the false pretense of wanting to get a tattoo done by the victim. Instead, a robbery and shooting took place, and police do not think the suspect acted alone. Wanting the wings, police say that text message requesting a tattoo design led to a fatal botched robbery in October 2024 at a home-based tattoo business on Oxford Street. Witnesses heard 38-year-old David Young yell, "I don't have anything," before he was shot 4 times. Police say phone records and text messages allowed 19-year-old Zion Johnson to be charged with taking part in that robbery and murder.
just highlights the hard work and effort of our detectives working.
No, what's crazy is what these kids are doing nowadays. Like, yo, what is the solution? Should they be put in jail? Should they be put in some type of, what? Shout out to Mel Dub, man. Like, oh my God, I wish I didn't have all these screens open because I could be copying the links to the people I'm saying it to. But hey, I guess that'll be, when I get better at this. I gotta learn how to do it on the phone. Because I can see the chat, but I don't know how to copy links yet on the phone to the chat. I'll figure that out. But listen, shout out to Mel Dub, right? Because he's spoken about this before, right? Mel Dub is he's a teacher, right? He's in Florida, and he has a channel. He speaks about a lot of topics, right? But the majority of them have to do with school and kids and stuff like that, right? But he did come, he did bring up, right, a solution, right? Well, he asked a question, right? And I think the solution, right? I think we got to look for it amongst us, right? Do y'all feel as though, right, when these kids are doing this, do y'all feel as though they need some type of rehabilitation or do they need jail time? I feel as though, right, that if they don't have no type of mental health, right, and if they've done this more than once, right, and there's a couple times of them doing this, right, because it seems like this is not her first time doing something like this. I don't know if it's her first murder, but it seems like it's not her first robbery trying to scheme and scam with whoever she's with, right? But maybe I could be wrong, right? Because like I said, I'm only reacting to this, right? Giving my commentary, and my commentary is nothing more than just my honest opinion on what I'm perceiving right now, what I'm seeing right now, what I'm viewing right now. So, I mean, this could be, I feel as though that she needs to do the time. 19 years old. But if it's her first time, I don't know. That right there is where I start second guessing myself. If it's her first time, right, and she's never done something like this before, does she need some rehabilitation and then jail time? Or, both of them at the same time, somehow, some way? Listen, I'm just trying to bring a solution to the table. Because it's kind of like, damn, man. Hey, yo, this shit. You know how when you go to other countries and stuff like that, in these gangs and all that, they got these kids. Well, that's how it's becoming here in the United States. It's like I'm seeing them younger and younger pulling triggers, acting tough. Like, you see where I'm coming from? Like, it's crazy, man. It's like a lot of them wish they was a part of a cartel or, a part of a mafia or something like that. Like, this is crazy.
So hard.
Sad. Yes, Gary. This is really sad.
And ensuring that we hold those accountable that commit these violent acts within our community, right? And removing them from within our community.
According to court records, Johnson admitted she arranged the tattoo appointment and went to the victim's home with another male suspect, but insisted she was unarmed. And the second suspect is the one who actually did the shooting. Still, Indiana law allows Johnson to be charged with felony murder for allegedly taking part in the robbery that led to death. So far, Johnson is the only person charged with the murder, but the death remains an ongoing investigation. Finally, Johnson is set to make her initial court hearing on Friday. In the meantime, she's being held without bond pending trial.
Okay, so she's the only one being charged for the murder. But as conspiracy, did y'all find the other guy that was with her? See, this is why we be having these conversations, these hood conversations, talking about can the police and it's crazy. Movies, shows give us the message to the same conversations we be out here having. Sometimes it makes me feel, right? Because I already know that it's not no predictions. They're not predictions. They're telling us what they're going to do and what's going to happen. But my thing is, are we, the humans, bringing Hollywood, right, the Matrix, right, into reality? Or is this something that's being done by the government? I mean, it's just a question, right? And also my curiosity from everything I've been listening, from everything that's being said. Guess what? Not just out here on these streets, not just from what we watch on TV, but a lot of podcasters here on social media too, right? And today, like something that I haven't done in a while, I'm not just streaming here on YouTube. I'm also streaming on Facebook. It's been a while I haven't been on Facebook. Like I managed to beat that little strike they was trying to give me. They was about to take my page on Facebook. Like I barely be on there, John, but from the last live I did, yeah, they was gonna take my John. So shit. My bad. I think I'm cussing a little bit too much, aren't I? Right? Get it together. But once again, can civilians and cops get along? Can civilians trust cops? Right? And we know that there's once again corrupted cops out there. We got trigger happy cops, everything. We got the KKK in there. We got white supremacists in there. We got so much going on in there, right? But what's crazy is, right, in our communities, right, I'm also seeing Hispanic cops, black cops, right, sit here and treat civilians like crap. The same way that I've seen civilians treat good officers, right, no matter what the color of their skin is, like crap too. But if you pay attention to what I just said, right, we're doing it to ourselves. But it also gets me to think, are these officers, right, that are good in the police force? It doesn't matter what they're working for, whether it's DEA, right, task force, SWAT, right, FBI, CIA, regular police, right? Are the good ones also going through the same experiences that us civilians are going out here in these streets, right? And I'm looking at it from both sides. A lot of people might not want to hear this, right? But like I've told people before, right? If we want to make change, right, we have to look at all angles. We want to bring a solution to the table. We have to listen carefully to what's being said, like, and also give our opinions the right way. Like, even though this song is more for, I feel as though it's rights for, men and rights for women. On here, I'll say it too. Like, it's equal rights for everybody, but if you want to change, right, it's going.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn the blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray, lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. A shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware, don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders, I learned women are strong, independent, and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together, with a man, we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies, growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise. But partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue. In a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man, it's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles. Making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss. Their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list, but we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget. Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around, then scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart, supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise, setting an example for young eyes. In every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand, leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds, showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see, let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need.
Hey, and that's some real shit, man. Like, I feel as though, like I said, starting this live, man, we can make a change. We can make a difference. But it's up to us. And I feel as though that so many people got excuses, right? We talk about we want rights for men, we want rights for women, right? But hey, in order to get that, both sides got to get heard. Like I tell people, I you know what's crazy, right? I get a lot of women get mad at me, like, how can you defend the men? You know, you're a woman, especially what you've been through. But at the end of the day, it's not believe all women, right? A lot of women, right, also use a lot of shit to get away, you know, with what they want. I'm sorry to say it like that, but a lot of these females ain't nothing but Lilith in disguise, ain't nothing but a Medusa. See, they'll sit here and use their sexuality, right, to sit here and get away with what they want with a man, right? But it's crazy, right, that a lot of us have been through so much, right? We fought for, you know, for us to get the things that we've got, as far as we've gotten as women, right? The protections that we got, the safe spaces that we've got, right? And what's crazy, right? In one of the episodes that I was watching of this little SWAT thingy, right? And it's crazy, within a couple days, right? I've been watching this, and I'm just sitting here like thinking, and I've told my baby, I'm sitting here like, yo, what's crazy is what's going on in here. It's the same type of conversations that we'll be having out here, right? And they've had a couple episodes of sex trafficking and stuff like that, right? Because it's crazy how just not so long ago, right, you had the men pretending to be women, trying to invade the women's sports, the locker rooms, bathrooms, and everything, right? And, you know, we were speaking on that. I think, Senator Crockett got a lot of backlash for that, right? And it's because of what she said, how she spoke, right, on that Senate meeting, right? Like, you know, a lot of women fought to get the stuff that we got, and as far as we've got now, right, to get the positions that we got, to be able to work, to, you know, how can I say it, to get as far as to, we've got women captains, women chief, we got women in the army, right? We got women. They had women doctors back then, though. But see, they don't want. That's going to be when we go into, the dive down the rabbit hole, right? On our ancestors, the presidents, the wars, and all that. But what people don't realize is, right, around 900 DC, BC, they had women doctors and stuff like that, women surgeons. I don't know how many people know that around that, time. They had surgeons, they had doctors, they had scientists, all that shit. But, we was led to believe that it started around what, the 1500s, 1600s, around there maybe. Ouchie. But anyways, getting back on topic, right? With all that going on, right? I get a lot of women backlash, but it's like I tell people, right? You could say that anti-feminism, right? That, how they got the Feminism Act and all that. Well, I'm anti-feminism act because I'm against it. I feel as though that the Feminism Act divides us women more and more, right? And what's crazy is, right, whether you like it or not, and this is how I perceive certain things, right? I feel as though it's like a competition with the women and the men. You got the men trying to be women, right? And then you got the women trying to act, right, and be like the men. Like, I'm not trying to act and be like no man, right? If I could sit here, right, and in a challenge me to be the man because my strategy helped me get there, then I could admit that. But I'm not trying to be the man. And there's a lot of women out here trying to be that, right? You see them out here selling drugs just like the men. It's crazy, is right. As much as I love the Griselda Blanco and her story, right? Like, I feel as though she's one of the reasons why a lot of women do these shit too. Like, if you really look at it, like, when I first learned of Griselda Blanco, I looked up to her, but not because of her selling drugs, but because of what she did and how she protected her sons. Even though I thought that, I was like, damn, I just wish her circumstances was different. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But all this shit that's happening right now, I feel as though that we're falling for it. And it's so many men and women at war. And then you got the women and women at war. Then you got the men and men at war. It's like, listen, man. Like the song says, maybe I'm tripping, but I was able to let it all out my chest in this lyrical poem. Silence me, but the warrior in me would never give up. You'll see, through trials and tribulations. Hold on one second. I don't know why. Trials and tribulations, I keep the fight alive. With courage in my heart, I will continue to strive. You may throw obstacles in my way. Like, it starts off like that, but everything that I'm trying to say right now, listen, I think best when I'm alone, in the dark, by myself. For real. Not talking to people, not trying to tell people, why I'm doing this, or, my reason behind why I keep fighting the way I do. Like, listen, man, I tell people, man, I could tear $100 bill up and wipe my ass with that shit. But as long as I help somebody, that right there, I feel good with that. In the face of darkness, I stand tall and strong. With faith as my shield, I'll keep marching on. You may try to bring me down, you may try to silence me, but the warrior in me will never give up. You'll see, through trials and tribulations, I'll keep the fight alive. With courage in the face of darkness. And that's some real shit. Just take a minute to listen to everything that I said in them lyrics, because it's nothing more than just a little bit of food for thought, y'all. Like, we sometimes dwell in a past that doesn't belong to us. When that past, right? When we take a deep dive down, right? That past, we're supposed to learn from it, not dwell in it. And too many of us dwell in a past that we cannot fix, but we have solutions for the present to help us in our future. So once we figure out how to get unstuck from that past, right? When you learn how to, teach your heart how to, release and let go to move forward, then you'll be able to equip your soul to handle anything that comes your way. So with that being said, let's move on to the next video, guys. Man, I appreciate everybody that's popped up, showed the shorty support, man. I appreciate those that share the lives, that share, the videos that help a shorty bring awareness. Once again, I really do appreciate y'all. Man, like a lot of y'all have inspired me, have motivated me to write a lot of this poetry from, the word straight on down to Nate the Great podcast. Like, man, I got a lyrical poem coming up for Gary. I got to upload Double Speed's little lyrical poem that I got for him so that he can hear it. Like, a lot of y'all inspire me, right, to put these lyrics behind pen and paper. So I appreciate y'all for the inspiration that y'all give me day in and day out. So let's keep going, right? Because like I told y'all, I'm not gonna be here all night. I was hoping that the word would go live, but I haven't seen him go live, so I'm guessing he's not going live tonight. So yep. I'm still not gonna be here all night though. But I was hoping that he was going live, right? But he's not. But let's see. This next video is Why Not Me? Mom shot while trying to save 1-year-old kid. And it's still the same thing. How this get in here? 10 million settlement in Sonia Massey shooting case gets. Oh, there's an update on Sonia Massey? Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, guys. There is no update on that, but there is an update on Sonia Massey, right? Let me share the screen real quick. Yo, there's an update on Sonia Massey after this whole time. I just didn't want to keep reacting to the same videos. So let's see what this update says real quick.
Say her name, loud and clear, so they'll never forget it. Sonia Massey. Anywhere where fear runs deep, happy trigger cops don't think, they just sleep. Over a pot of boiling water, such a shame, a coward in blue playing a deadly game. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees, I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. A life taken too soon for what crime? Just a pot of water bubbling over time. No chance to explain or make it right. In the blink of an eye, plunged into eternal night. The headlights scream of injustice and pain as we mourn another life lost in vain. The system broken, hearts shattered apart by those who should protect with courage, not dart. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. In a world so unjust, Sonia Massey lost her life. Blame thrown left and right, but just to show ignite. Say her name loud and clear, let the truth be near. In the shadows of deceit, her memory we hold dear. Amidst the darkness and lies that cloud her fate. A victim of cruelty and a cruel twist of hate. Whispers of the injustice echo through the night. Sonia's spirit lingers, demanding what is right. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. In the shadows of the night, Sonia stood tall. I rebuke you, in the name of Jesus she called. The officer's eyes filled with venomous spite as he dared her. And I rebuke you in the dim moonlight. Sonia pleaded for mercy on bended knees. I'm sorry, she whispered, her voice filled with plea. But the officer's words cut through like a knife. A crazy bitch, she spat with hatred and strife. With courage in her heart, Sonia spoke clear and bold. Her name echoed loud as the story unfolds. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the happy trigger hitter. In the darkness of despair, a cry for help was in the air. Sonia Massey, just 36, her mental health in need of fix. But a heartless cop's cruel hand ended her life without a care. Say her name loud and clear, let it echo far and near. Justice must be served, for Sonia's unfairly taken. May her story be a beacon, shining light on lives forsaken. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the happy trigger hitter. We lift our voices high to honor Sonia's name in the sky. Let it hover over their heads as a reminder of the cost of neglecting those in need and the lives that have been lost.
What up, man? Say now, Commander, we got Commander in the building, y'all. All right, y'all. Blessings, Commander, yo. Yes, we got an update finally. Yo, that made me stop everything I was doing because I did not listen. I was searching something else, but Sonia Massey's update came up, so we definitely gonna catch this update real quick. So apparently, right, $10 million settlement in Sonia Massey's shooting case gets final approval. Officials in Sangamon County, Illinois, approved the payout after Massey was killed in her home last summer by a sheriff deputy. She had called for help.
Well, it's official. The Sangamon County Board unanimously agrees to pay out the family of Sonia Massey $10 million in a settlement, and officials are adamant they will not be raising taxes and there will be no cuts of service to pay for it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Resolution 17 is adopted.
Sangamon County will pay the Massey family out of its settlement fund, with additional money needed coming from county reserves.
To pay for this particular settlement, we will not be raising taxes, we will not be issuing additional debt, we will not be cutting services. We can handle this through what is in place in those reserves, and allow us to do this on a cash basis and do it really quickly.
Insurance won't cover any of the settlement because the county doesn't have liability insurance. It's self-insured.
We're self-insured. We looked at that a long time ago when we determined to go this self-insured route, and the cost of the liability insurance was really astronomical. It was better if we accumulate these reserves.
Sangamon County Council can now finalize details with the Massey family.
That's it?
It's a moment that plays over and over in his head.
Esta persecución, la discriminación sobre eso.
Wait. Oh, wait. Listen. Man, I'm gonna have to check that video out before I continue to play it. Listen, he was talking in Spanish, so it confused me. I think it went to another video, but I think the bull was still speaking on Sonia. I'll check that John out later. I'm glad they're giving her family a settlement. I'm gonna have to look for further updates on that, and we might do a live on Sonia Massey, right? Recap on what happened to her and the new updates. So we'll see what's gonna happen with that. But because we also found out that what? I'm glad that her family got this. I wasn't expecting that update, but shout out to her family. My condolences go out to her family too at the same breath, right? Because it's too much going on, especially with these crooked cops, right? These trigger happy cops, and something's got to get done. Once again, it leads back to me saying, is there a way that civilians, right, and cops, right, that we could find a way to work with each other, right, to try to make a change, try to make a difference? But you know what? That's a solution that a lot of us are going to have to come together and figure out within community meetings amongst our own cities and, county and states. Because like I said, you can't force people to do things, right? You can't force people to, I've said this time after time, a lot of this has to come within you. And in order for you to help anybody else, you have to first figure out how to help yourself first. That's why I said that, a shorty, until a shorty is well prepared, right? And when shorty's where she's at, that's when a shorty will make certain moves. Boom, 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 boom. But until then, with no money in my pocket, just living on a, monthly to monthly paycheck and depending on my baby pops, no. A shorty want to be well prepared, enough people behind her, and much more. I think, I'm going to say this. Observing the past, I've learned what were the mistakes they've made. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't make it this time. And if those that have made it, because I don't know everything in the past, but I'm still learning. I've learned enough to break down the new stuff that I'm learning. You see where I'm coming from? But at the end of the day, right, there's a whole lot more that I still got to learn. I ain't perfect. I'm beyond that.
Now to new concerns over bird flu.
But yeah, it's crazy. That's all I can say for right now, man. But we got, moving on to another topic, right? Let us show you know what y'all think about that topic, right? What y'all think, how y'all feel, right? And y'all can, write it down below. But we're gonna move on to the next topic, right? Y'all already heard what I think and feel about that situation. Certain things are crazy, man. I feel as though that, like I said, once again, there could be a change, there could be a difference if we stop putting excuses. That's why I say, right, when it comes to solutions, I'm not debating nobody out. Because if we haven't tried this person's solution or try to, figure out if it work or not, right, and you won't know unless you've tried it, I'm not going to sit here and debate it. Because how do you know? Right? Like, that's why I'm sitting here. Like, it's like a lot of people are turning everything into a debate. Even the solution is a debate. And sometimes I don't even think it's a debate. It's like, I feel as though some people just like, damn, I wanted to come up with that idea first. So fuck, F you. Like, let's say, I don't know. Like, they just want to bash the person that came up with it. I don't know. I hear people scream and shout, I want a solution. We need to make a difference. But when the solution is brought to the table, people push people away. I mean, people, how can I say, people make people with the solution sway. I hope y'all understand what I mean by that. It just be crazy. But on another note, right, we got the bird flu, man, concerns for New York, right? We got the bird flu with the chickens, eggs. Damn, I did a live on this before, but I don't think I have uploaded it. I think I asked the question before. Can a human get bird flu? Okay, so I knew I wasn't tripping. So although avian bird influenza flu A virus usually do not infect people, there have been some rare cases of human infection with these viruses. And I know I did a live and it was during the pandemic, right? So I think that's why I haven't uploaded those lives, because I have to find a proper disclaimer to re-upload these videos again, because it's crazy. But there was a point in time where I asked this one question, and I've asked it throughout these lives throughout this year, right? What would happen, right? They're playing around in their experiments and trying to be God so bad, right? What would happen if these viruses, these diseases got mixed up together, right? Or if they did some messed up and came up with something out of this, and what would happen? And there's no cure for this. And what's crazy is, right, if you look at these movies and certain movies, right, you see that there's no turning back from certain viruses. And I'm just saying, I'm speaking in general, right? But getting back to this, right, illness in humans from avian influenza virus infections have ranged in severity from no symptoms or mild illness to severe disease that resulted in death. So a human can contract this disease. I don't know why. Why did I say contract? Ray, this is not a contract. Contract. There's a big difference, Ray. Oh shit, I just popped myself hard as hell. Get it together, Ray. How easy is it for humans to catch the bird? It says rare. See, it says direct contact touching infected birds, their saliva, mucus, or feces, contaminated surfaces touching bedding, feed, or water, breathing in contaminated air, inhaling respiratory droplets or dust contaminated with the virus, drinking raw milk from infected animals. So there is a lot of ways that you can you know what, Ray? Stop saying the damn word. That's it. I'm starting to believe your baby pops. I'm starting to believe your baby pops when he says it has nothing to do with your accent. Snap. Get it together. Talk right. You got this. But let's get back over here. My bad. So bird flu concerns for New York, man. Nate the Great, make sure you check all the chickens in your zoo, all right?
In the nation's egg supply, with news by New York's governor to close many live poultry markets to try to stop the spread. ABC's Ike Ajachi is here now with the very latest on this. Good morning, Ike.
Hey, good morning, Janae. The governor says this order to close several live poultry markets is out of abundance of caution and to thwart any further transmission. This morning, as the price of eggs skyrockets across the country, the governor of New York temporarily shutting down all live bird markets around the New York City area after discovering multiple cases of bird flu.
Over the last week, inspectors have detected 7 cases of bird flu in poultry during routine inspections.
The governor ordering uninfected live bird markets in New York City, Westchester, Nassau, and Suffolk counties to stop incoming deliveries, sell down inventory, thoroughly clean, and then shutter their doors for 5 days. This shutdown, part of the nationwide bird flu outbreak, while other poultry farms have had their egg supply cut down due to the virus. Still, officials say there's no immediate public health threat. According to the CDC, there are 67 confirmed cases of H5N1 bird flu in the U.S. Meanwhile, a different type of bird flu has been detected in U.S. dairy cows.
When you have a virus that's spreading rapidly.
So it's also in the cows. There was this video that I uploaded, right? If y'all haven't checked it out, I was geeking because I'm trying to figure out how these kids, right? I mean, if it was a skit, it was a well played out skit because the reaction on these kids' faces, like, how in the world do y'all confuse breast milk with whole milk? Like, and then to top it off, if you know that your parents do not take the milk out the gallon and put it in a container, why would y'all even grab them? Like, and my thing is, these kids were eating Captain Crunch. How in the world? Like, breast milk is kind of sweet. I hate breast milk. And yes, I've had to taste it when I warmed it up for my daughter one time. And I wasn't supposed to, so I was just like, but I did warm it up, right? Because I had to keep it. I had to pump that joint out, put it in the freezer, right? To save it. So when I took it out, I warmed that joint up. And I tasted that joint. I was like, curious, shit, what the hell am I feeding my baby? And it's coming out of me. That joint was kind of sweet, but like, I don't like breast milk. Like, but see, I did it because I was feeding my child and I didn't want the milk to be too hot. But these kids literally went into the refrigerator, grabbed the damn container. I guess they just saw some white, white liquid, right, in the container and they thought it was milk. But damn, breast milk is not even white. It's kind of like yellowish. I don't know how to explain it. It's not white. It doesn't look like whole milk. Kind of looks like carnation milk in a way. But you know what? Never mind. This shit is crazy. Yo, don't drink them. Better start drinking. Man, nah, man. You can't even steal the milk from your auntie because you don't even know she's on them opioids or on that coke. Man, stay away from all milk. Man, because one is contaminated with the damn virus and the other one is just, you don't know what it has in it. Point blank. Stay away from all milk. Breast milk is not always good either. Just make sure, listen. You know what? Rachel, shut up. Shut up. You say you were going to be a good girl. You know what it is? I'm trying not to cuss. That's why I'm being goofy right now. I'm trying not to cuss.
In animal populations, it increases the chances for mutation.
The USDA finding a second strain in a Nevada herd. It's the same version of the virus that killed an elderly Louisiana man in January.
Let them leave, man. They can't handle the news. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. I'm sorry. I know that when people leave, it's because they don't want to watch it. It's not their cup of tea, or they just can't. Like you little Boozy says, you can't handle the truth. Like, I'm sorry, but I had to tell y'all the truth. Like, no matter how, just think about what I just said. A little food for thought. Just think about what I said. All right. Let me stop talking because I get goofy sometimes, and let me go back because I was talking too much shit.
See, there are 67 confirmed cases of H5N1 bird flu in the U.S. Meanwhile, a different type of bird flu has been detected in U.S. dairy cows.
You better be careful. All the milk, shit, man. The cows are contaminating the milk, the whole milk, 2% milk, 1% milk, right? Even though we make it into 1% and 2% milk, right? But anyway, that's a topic for another, live, right? But then you got to be careful with the breast milk in the refrigerator, whether it's from auntie or anybody else, right? Because these kids really they just grab that milk and just start Captain Crunch and breast milk together. Ew. But anyways, yo, like, you never know what auntie was taking the night before. Listen, these kids probably high as shit. How many bowls of cereals they ate, I don't even know. That's probably what the problem was. Auntie, was up there popping them perks and shit. You know what, Ray? You starting to curse. Oh, snap. You know what? Let's play this. I apologize, guys.
Have a virus that's spreading rapidly in animal populations, it increases the chances for mutation.
The USDA finding a second strain in a Nevada herd. It's the same version of the virus that killed an elderly Louisiana man in January.
I've never seen anything like this.
Oh shit. I mean, oh snap. Yo, they just said it unalived somebody. But they're telling us over here that it's not unaliving nobody. But yes, somebody already. It was an elderly man. Okay. But still, Nate baby, stay away from cow's milk and stay away from any auntie's milk. The cow's milk could be contaminated and auntie's milk could have opioids in it. I know that because I seen some kids take, auntie's breast milk and they kept drinking. They poured it into the Captain Crunch and they ate that Captain Crunch with that milk, right? And I think they was high after the first bowl. And I don't know if coke and heroin does that, but I do know that if you pop a couple perks, it will get your child high if you're breastfeeding. Very, very high. Not because of me, but because I seen somebody else experience that shit. They took a baby from her too. So stay away from any auntie's milk, okay? I know you're a grown man, but Nate, baby, you're going to worry us over here. It's hitting New York, and we right close to you. We know we getting it next. Philly, it's coming.
The demand for eggs flying through the roof. Last week in Pennsylvania, Pete and Jerry's organic eggs delivery truck had almost 100,000 eggs stolen worth $40,000. CEO Tom Flacco said,
"Oh yeah, let's not forget that. Just a couple weeks ago, some idiots, well, they smart as shit because they haven't found them yet. So let me take back the word idiot. Are they idiots if the police haven't found them yet? They some smart thieves. Anyways, they did steal a truck full of $40,000 worth of eggs. Yo, they about to come up because I don't think that these eggs got chipped. By the way, make sure y'all go check out that electronic tattoo. Would you get an electronic tattoo? It's crazy that how people got chipped back in 2019, and a lot of people right now in 2025 can go through the airport by just showing their palm. Well, we did a live recently. I forgot all about it, but the video's uploaded, right? They got electronic tattoos that are just like the chip. Go check that joint out. This is crazy. Eggs. If the eggs were chipped, they would have been found them eggs.
Says they source their specialty.
Hey, make sure you chip all your animals when we finish the zoo, all right? We got to make sure that zoo is in between Philly and New York, all right? So that way we can stay partners. Now, we got to make sure it goes to Detroit so we can check out the word, too.
Eggs from over 300 family farms, lowering the risk of being impacted by an infection.
It makes our models much more secure. We're not at risk of having millions of birds being taken out by influenza. If one barn is hit, it's a very small piece of our total.
Again, although 67 people have been infected in the U.S., it's important to note that there still has been no human-to-human spread of the bird flu. But
all right, it's still no human-to-human spread of the bird flu. That's because, you know what? Shut up, Ray. You cannot say why again after that strike. Anyways, okay, let me see if I can work around the why. Oh, you know what? Let me put it like this. I asked a question. What would happen if boom and boom got mixed together, right? Doesn't matter what the viruses are. And, a human, yeah, it's happened. The viruses mixed. Here you go, Ray. You know what? Shut up. We're going to move on to the next topic because I'm going to get a strike because of this. Let's go. It's just that I know something and I want to let it out, but YouTube is not the platform. And I can't get my TikTok back, and I could talk about it on TikTok. But I deleted that before they took TikTok away, and now I can't download it. And the shorty's stressing because I can only go on TikTok on the internet, on the computer, and it's not the same. Yo, I'm dead. But I can really let it out on TikTok. But let's move on to the next topic. Let us shorty know what y'all think about the blue flu. The blue flu. Damn, does that even exist? I'm about to search up the blue flu. The bird flu concerns for New York, man. And if it's in New York, Philly, trust and believe, anywhere, in Pennsylvania, it's coming. So if you're in PA, it's coming. Don't think you're safe because it's only New York. No, it's not. We got 67 cases at least 67 human cases of bird flu confirmed in the U.S. since last year. And people are just now starting to talk about it. Gotta think about it. But let's move on to the next topic. Let us shorty know what y'all think, y'all. This shit
Brooklyn
is crazy.
teen wrongly.
So we got a Brooklyn teenager wrongly accused by NYPD speaks out about 5 terrifying months of threats. Oh, the NYPD was sitting here threatening these kids. Yo, see these cricket cops. And that's once again, that's why I say, like, what type of solutions can we bring to the table for these situations like this, right? And when it comes to these kids that keep committing crime after crime, right? Even if they teens, right? Do y'all think that, one, rehabilitation is the answer or jail time is the answer? Or do y'all feel as though that they need both at the same time? Or they should do rehabilitation, right? And then do jail time. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to bring solutions to the table. What do y'all think would work the best, right? Shout out to Mel Dub, right? A teacher from Florida. He's also a content creator here on YouTube for bringing that question, right? And it's a question, right, that he came up with on his channel, right? And I've been bringing it over here asking the people that watch me. And I don't think I've heard anybody come up with a solution or an answer to the question. Me personally, if they've done it time after time, they don't, you know what, I've said this time after time too. They don't have no type of mental health situation. I feel as though rehabilitation, they need to learn their lesson. See where I'm coming from? You did the crime, do the time. But if they have some type of mental health issues, I feel as though rehabilitation, right? Then jail time. If not, rehabilitation and jail time at the same time, if it could work, if it exists. But a shorty's never been in jail before. So this solution can come from the people that have been in jail, right? So this is why I bring it up a lot, because I would love to hear their perspectives. People that are actually trying to make a change, trying to make a difference and help the youth, right? Whether they're females or males, right? To not go to jail or go back into jail. Those that believe in, people deserve a second chance, right? Those that believe that, but not everybody deserves a chance and not everybody is willing to change. So we also have to, have that third eye open. So, send them to work on the farm. I'm done. Only commander, yo. But, it's crazy. This boy right here suffered I'm guessing he suffered some stuff with the NYPD, right? And it says here that he was going through it for 5 months. And we're talking about people that are supposed to come out here, protect, and serve. So many things have changed from when I was a little girl to now that I'm older, right? And I don't know, sometimes I wish I could turn back the hands of times and find the solutions to whatever mistakes were done, whether they were mine or, somebody else's, and fix it. But unfortunately, things ain't like that, unless somebody could tell me that we figured out how to hop on portals and travel back in time. Shit, holla at a shorty. But then again, right, if we do change the past, right, what would happen to us here in the present for the future, right? Because that past actually has made a lot of us. And, the past that have made a lot of us has been a dark past. It's like I tell people I hated my past until I looked at the person in the mirror staring back at me. And I had to learn how to love and respect myself in order to help, anybody else, in order to respect or love anybody else. That's crazy, because if it wasn't for my past, the woman right now speaking to y'all wouldn't even exist. As much as I hate it, that past made me. And it's like that for a lot of people. So let's continue. It's fucked up, man. I wish I could change things like this. Brooklyn teenager wrongly accused by NYPD speaks out.
Brooklyn teen wrongly accused of a fatal shooting at a parade last year is speaking out about threats that he's been experiencing. And now his family wants the NYPD to apologize for putting his image out there that is still circulating on social media. Naveen Dhaliwal has this story.
For Camden Lee, it's been 5 months of stress.
Yeah, a lot of fear, a lot, like for my life, for my family.
That's after the NYPD blasted the then 15-year-old's picture, saying he was wanted in a shooting at the West Indian Day Parade last September that killed one man and left several others injured. Camden's mother, Chichi Brock, says once the image was circulated, her son began receiving threats.
I had to move my family, all of my children away for a while.
Brock says she met with investigators and the image was taken down from NYPD social media sites. But then the NYPD mistakenly recirculated the picture in December, making her angry.
At this point, I don't have nothing to say to them. I'm just going to let my lawyer talk to them.
Her attorney, Wiley Stecklow, says to start, the NYPD needs to adopt better social media practices outlined in a recent Department of Investigations for the Inspector General report.
They put my client in a dangerous position and a slanderous position.
That DOI report says some official NYPD accounts were unprofessional and not in compliance with the city's social media policies, further saying formal training is needed for NYPD staff to post more appropriate content.
This is just another example in a long list of those problems.
The NYPD responded to the image of Lee saying, quote, social media posts in September mistakenly stated that he was wanted for the fatal shooting rather than stating he was a person of interest. The NYPD should have immediately corrected this misstatement. We apologize for the error and will continue to seek justice for the victims of the shooting.
I just want everyone to know that my son is innocent.
And despite such an error by the NYPD, there's this from Camden.
I feel it was unprofessional and like more could have been done to make sure that they had the right person. But I still have trust in them. I still have a lot of faith in them.
In Bed-Stuy, Naveen Dhaliwal, CBS News, New York.
That's crazy. Young boy said, I still have trust in them. I still have a lot of faith in them. Right. And there's a young boy that was wronged by the police department saying, I still got faith. I still got some trust in them. While, what's crazy is people older than him out here that wouldn't even have smart like that, yo. For real. Like, that's why I say, man, I don't want to hear people debate solutions, man. If you got a solution, that's what I want to hear. You want to debate a solution for problems like this, then you got to get, you know what? The door is right there. Just make sure the doorknob doesn't, what is it? Doorknob doesn't hit you where the good Lord split you. I was, you know what, Ray? You say you wasn't going to be cussing. You got this.
I stand tall and strong. With faith as my shield, I'll keep marching on. In the face of darkness, I stand tall and strong. With faith as my shield, I'll keep marching on. You may try to bring me down. You may try to silence me. But the warrior in me will never give up.
That's some real shit right there, yo. And it's crazy that this is a young boy right here. I think they say he was 18 years old. And he's willing to forgive everything that was done to him. Young. That's why I got to say, man, I got to give these roses out. I got to give my respect to these men here on social media, man. We got Nate the Great Podcast. Nate, baby. We got The Word. We got Gary Bust It Down Brown, right? We got Realist, yo. We got Kwame Brown. We got Papa Duck, man. I could keep going down the list. Let's not forget Passer, Double Speaks, yo. Make sure y'all go check out the Passer, man. Like I said, I got too many tabs open right now. If not, I would drop the links. But everybody that has a wrench, right? Y'all are great content creators, right? The ones that don't have a wrench, man, y'all are great. They do have a wrench and are not content creators. Y'all are great supporters, right? So y'all got them wrenches there so y'all can drop y'all links, right? Especially if you have a channel, right? So I do give, wrenches to those people that got great content because I feel as though that more and more people need to go watch them. There's a message, right? And amongst these lives that they do, amongst these, videos that they upload, their message will reach somebody out there. It's just up to the person. So just how you perceive it, how you take it, and what you do with it. But as far as I'm concerned, a lot of these people got great messages, great content, and y'all should go check them out. And they bring awareness to so many things, especially Nate. Y'all got to go check Nate out, right? If you in New York, New Jersey, anywhere in them bureaus, man, go check out Nate the Great Podcast because he speaks a lot about what goes on in the communities. But let's move on to the next topic, right? Let us show you know what y'all think about the Brooklyn teenager wrongly accused by the NYPD. Speaks out about 5 months of terrifying threats. I feel as though, like I said, once again, man, these police officers are meant to serve and protect, not to sit here and harm the people they're supposed to be protecting. But we do have a lot of corruption, right, in the police force, right? What's crazy is, right, the only ones that can make a change and a difference with this is but he gets the best reward afterwards. It's okay. It's okay. I get over it, then I reward him. He's a lucky dog, ain't he? Oops, my bad. He's a man. Chill. So no, let's continue.
Strictly looking to save money. It won't happen in the short term. A feed store owner manager we spoke with says regardless, though, the high egg prices are piquing a lot of people's interest in learning more about the benefits.
Yeah.
As egg prices soar in the supermarket, it has some asking, why not go to the source and get fresh eggs from your own backyard by owning backyard chickens?
When you're raising your own and when you crack them, I mean, you can tell by the yolks are just so healthy looking, nice.
Man, that's a great idea. But in Philadelphia, they be arresting people with chickens and roosters in their backyard. So y'all saying that it's legal here in Philly now? But I know why they do it, because people be having them cockfights. That's what they're called, cockfights, all right? Don't judge a shorty for what she just said. It's a real word, all right? They get roosters to fight each other, but they call it a cockfight, all right? All right. So, I mean, will y'all make that? Let me see. I gotta look this up. Wait. Is it legal to have a chicken in my backyard in Philadelphia? Can I have chickens in my backyard? Let me see. I still need it. I need a permit. So that's how some of these people get away with it. I got a nice little backyard. I wouldn't mind putting some chickens back there. That will really save the price on eggs. Oh, I'm definitely about to go get this permit. He's asleep. I should throw something at him to wake him up. Let me stop.
An orange color, not like a dull yellow colored egg. They just taste better.
Justin McQueen, a manager at Largo Feed and Pet Supply, has raised his own chickens for the last 8 years. He says during the pandemic, interest skyrocketed and has continued to grow.
A lot of people are worried about where their food's coming from. So they want to raise their own birds so they know exactly what the birds have been fed. No additives, preservatives, chemicals.
To get started, the biggest upfront cost.
I'm getting some chickens and I'm definitely getting a goat because they say goat's milk is better than cow's milk. I don't know. I never drank goat milk. I wonder if it's good. But the cows be having so many diseases. So I wonder if goat's milk is good. Does the goat get a... Wait a minute. Now I'm curious. See, Nate. Hell, Nate, we need to come together. I want a farm. You want a zoo. We might as well get the land. Shit. Can I go get the bird flu? Can a goat get the bird flu? Listen, Gemini, you pay attention. Oh shit, goats can get the bird flu. So I can't even get a goat. So I'm gonna have to look for something else. What is out there? Shit. How can you replace listen. How are you gonna get milk? You see my point? Mad cow disease. Goat milk that's why I say you gotta get a goat. But then others say, but it's rare though for the goat to get it, but still they get it. No, let me see. Hold on. I need to read this wrong, right? Cases have been reported in cats, dogs, goat kids, and juvenile goats. Wait. I mean, why just not say juvenile goats, baby goats, and dairy cows? Damn. Man, we just got to make sure we keep our animals healthy. That's it. Let's do this. We got to come together. All of us got to put our money together, get some land, get all the animals. Hell, let's pretend like this is Noah's Ark.
which can range from a few $100s to more than $1,000. But after that, McQueen says maintenance costs are rather low. Baby chicks can go for about $6 each. On average, he says feed costs about $30 a month for, say, about 4 chickens, which he says might give 8 to 10 dozen eggs a month.
When we get the baby chicks, and you're going to have some kind of like heat lamp on them. They like to stay about 90 degrees for the first couple weeks, and then you start dropping it at about 5 degrees a week.
He says typically they won't start laying eggs until they're about 18 to 20 weeks old, which means a major investment up front. Since egg prices have gone up, he says he has had more calls from people inquiring about ownership.
I mean, I think it's an investment worth, putting in, getting your own chickens in your own backyard. I don't see that as a bad idea. I mean, it's going to cost you a couple coins in the beginning, but see, what's the problem with you digging your hands into your little treasure box? You do it everybody. Oh, sometimes you be robbing Peter to fucking pay Bob. Snap. I mean, what I mean by that is you be stealing one account, to pay this, and then you got to sit here digging this piggy bank to pay that. Like, you're stealing from yourself. So why not just invest in some chickens? Free eggs every morning for you, at least. Sell them, eat them. I mean, just take good care of them. Keep them in good health. Shit. And they could give you, a good veterinarian. I had to slow it down because my Spanglish was about to be activated. My Spanglish,
and says that having fresh eggs isn't the only thing drawing people in.
They're considered a companion animal. They'll come right up to you if you're sitting down in the backyard. They usually, some of them will hop right up in your lap, just depending on how much interaction you've given them as far as when they were babies. It's just kind of soothing to see them, roam in the backyard doing their thing.
And McQueen says he's also seen chicken ownership really popular among families with young kids. He says springtime is when chicks start becoming available, and for them, they'll be getting their first chicks in for the year at the end of this month. In the newsroom, Jordan Bowen.
See you guys out there, for all y'all pimps, man. I heard there's women pimps. I forgot what they're called, right? But for all y'all pimps out there, instead of pimping women and stuff like that, man, why don't y'all start pimping out these little chicks? And I'm talking about the chickens. Shit, there's more money in the industry in there after a little while. I mean, it costs y'all a little couple bucks. I mean, shit, there's a solution for that. Pimp the chickens out. Let me stop. You know what? Let's move on to the next topic. Yo, ain't nobody got time to raise chickens. We're busy making and watching TT video. I ain't making no video. Wait a minute. Be careful, Commander, with what you say, because we don't know where Wildheart could be lurking around here. Remember, he's a man and he's fighting hard, for the prostitute, agenda to stay alive. He says, you cannot take his prostitutes away from him. We gotta be careful. Be careful, Commander. Yo, he gonna come at us. He's like, no. Then I won't have no prostitutes. They out here pimping the chickens and not the itches. I took the B out. Yo, that bull funny as shit. You gotta love the word, man, and the new people that he's bringing in, yo. For real. But let's move on to the next topic, right? Let us know what y'all think about. Right? Could backyard chickens be the answer to the high egg prices, yo? I mean, you might, it's going to come, it's going to cost you a little bit in the beginning, but they say that afterward, you know what? Something's wrong with my English. I don't know what's up with me today, but I can't seem to pronounce my words. And it's crazy because it's my first language. What happened? See? Spanish came afterwards. Rachel, get it together, yo. Damn. Listen, be careful, man. Like, yo, shorty, be careful. Trump out there looking heavy. You don't want him to mistake you for no. Like, man, they're going to have you crossing the border fast. Shorty, calm down. You don't want him to notice that you speak Spanish. Dios mío.
2 employees of a Delaware.
We got school employees arrested after allegedly attacking. Whoa. Why were they attacking the parents? School employees? But anyways, we're going to move on to the next topic, right? We got school employees arrested after allegedly attacking a parent. I don't know what went down and why 2 Delaware employees, right, that work at a charter school are facing charges after allegedly attacking a student's mom. And well, it says here Tuesday morning, right? But it says it was uploaded a day ago. What's today? I don't want to know about my notifications. So in reality, it's been 2 days if this happened Tuesday morning. Oh, wow. Let's listen to this.
Delaware County Charter School are accused of assaulting the parent of a child. The victim says she complained about the women in the past, but this morning it took a violent turn. Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson had a chance to speak to this victim and joins us live from Chester with more on these allegations. Becca.
Shar, the victim says she was waiting at the bus stop as she does every morning when those 2 employees from her daughter's school approached her. There was some yelling involved and the altercation quickly turned physical. Now, the victim tells me she's had some issues with these employees all school year, but she never thought it would turn violent.
My lens is missing. It's bent.
Tiffany Spizak has broken glasses and a scratch on her face. She says her knees are bloodied and head is throbbing after police say 2 employees from her daughter's school assaulted her.
I was waiting at the bus stop that I wait at every morning to go to work, and 2 of the aides from my daughter's old building approached me.
It happened around 7:45 a.m. this morning at Chester Transportation Center. Spizak says the workers from her 6-year-old daughter's school, Chester Community Charter School, approached her and confronted her. Spizak started recording the argument that turned physical.
And got me to the ground, and then they both came over and were hitting me and kicking me while I was on the ground.
Spizak says she's had issues with the workers in the video, 33-year-old Racheal Evans and 32-year-old Tanya Warren, since September, and has complained to the principal about their behavior.
Well, this has been ongoing. I've been trying to get it handled.
According to a criminal complaint, a school administrator showed up at the bus stop and took both employees away to work while Spizak was on the phone with 911. Police arrested Evans and Warren at the school. The school put out a statement saying the employees had been suspended and contradicted police and the victim, alleging the incident is not connected to the school. They said in part, despite the alleged incident having no connection to CCCS and because the safety and well-being of our students is our absolute top priority, CCCS takes this allegation against his staff seriously and will thoroughly investigate this matter. Spizak says she no longer feels safe with her daughter at school.
And I never thought it would come to me getting assaulted, and telling me to be a parent. I am being a parent. I'm advocating for my daughter. She's not being treated well.
Now, both suspects are facing charges, including assault and harassment. A preliminary hearing is set for later this month.
Damn, I need a little more on this, right? Because what was the beef about? Who started who initiated this, right? Was it the mom? Was it the employees, right? I mean, apparently this has been something that's been going on for a year. The school denies it, but we all know that, when it comes to the schools, well, you can't really trust them. So I'm over here stuck between the now and the wall, and I need a little more info before I say something, right? And, that I'm more for the kids' rights than anything in this situation. So these are adults, and it kind of seemed like this is something that's kind of personal, right? So I'm not sure what's really, really going on besides what we just heard. But my thing, it seems like it's a little personal. I could be wrong, because it's the school that's saying that it has nothing to do with something that's happening in school. The mother is saying that she's advocating for her daughter. You see where I'm coming from? So I need a little more info. I need to know why this is happening, why this beef is going on, right? And how we got it initiated in order for me to give an opinion or perspective. And them being employees for the school, I've said this time after time, there's a proper way to behave. It's too many employees working for the school districts, right, that behave like they're still in the hood. They're behaving like they're not in a public school or a charter school or a private school. They're behaving like they're not dealing with kids. And what's crazy, right? Unfortunate to say, because it's happening, right? That these adults are behaving worse than these kids are. But y'all say y'all want to find a solution for the kids. But look what y'all showing. Look what we're showing these kids. Y'all want a solution. Or maybe it'll be there when we start leading by example.
Live here in Chester, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6.
Yeah, man. Let us shorty know what y'all think about this right here, man. I feel as though we got solutions, right, to deal with this. Right here, I can't really, give an honest opinion, right? Because I need a little more input on this. I need a little more info on this. So we're going to move on to the next topic. If anybody knows a little more about this, let us shorty know. But that's right here. That's real close to Philly. This is Delaware. That ain't that far away. That's crazy. It happened off campus, then it's not the school's responsibility. But if the issue, right, was initiated in school, right? You know what's crazy? Why I think that's crazy? Why I think that's a messed up situation, right? Because it happens a lot with the students, right? With the bullying and stuff like that, right? And that's why I said I need a little more info, because if the situation started from school, then the school needs to deal with it and deal with their employees, right? If it's something that is personal, then I understand why the school doesn't want to get involved. But what's crazy is, right, the same situation happens with the students, right? There are situations that get started in these schools, right? And somehow, some way, right, they don't get finished off until after school, maybe a block away from the school, 2 blocks away from the school. But guess what? Everything started in the school. There have been situations like that. That's why I'm against that right there. Because, like, if it turns out that everything happened in the school, then the school messed up right there. And now, right, if the employees were initiating a problem with the mom has a big lawsuit against the school. But I guess, school districts, it doesn't matter what county, what state, what city they in, love getting lawsuits, right? Man, shout out to them teachers out there, right, that love teaching, right? But this is not is it a situation? Are these teachers, or were they cafeteria employees? Let me see. No, they just keep saying employees, school employees, school employees. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't say. So I don't know if they were lunch ladies or they were actually teachers. But once again, there's a way to behave. And a lot of these teachers behave very inappropriately in these schools. Not just the teachers, the staff too. You got security guards, you got lunch ladies, you got counselors. Like, some of them,
just 2 days after,
some of them allegedly are not from, the hood, but I don't know. Can you bring the hood out of somebody that's never been in the hood? I feel as though they lie when they say they've never been in the hood. They must have been in the hood. They bull. They playing us in the face when they say, "Oh, we're not from the hood." But damn, you act worse than somebody that's grew up in the hood, that's been in the hood. Snap. So we're gonna move on to the next topic. Let us surely know what y'all think about that video, right? We got, let me see. It happened. Okay, I saw that already. She should have ran. Those 2 ladies don't look like they would chase her. Commander is funny as shit. You gotta love Commander, yo. But I'm gonna play 2 more videos, right, and get off this job because it's already 2:19 in the morning, right? I think I've been on here for 2 hours, right? Let me see what we got here. Oh yeah, I got a nice little playlist. And I also want to take a minute and, say thank you and appreciate those that send a shorty videos on her DM, right? You know what? Next time I'm going to leave the links in the chat below so that everybody can get it. But yo, y'all can always DM a shorty. My Instagram is in the description box down below, man. And keep dropping videos. Right? So we got FEMA cuts 80 million grant for NYC migrants. So they cut. Are they, not helping them? How do you give 80 million to illegal immigrants for housing when you claim $750 is the best you can do for Western NC? FEMA has no right giving money for non-citizens to live in the country. FEMA money is supposed to be used for emergency help during earthquake, flooding, wildfires, Yo, that's true. New York City migrants. So they're getting 80 million. And what are the New York City residents getting?
Just 2 days after learning the DOJ plans to drop the criminal case against him, Mayor Adams already having trouble with the federal government.
All right, they're revoking $80 million in FEMA grants that have been awarded to the city to house migrants. Fox 5's Morgan McKay is live in Sunnyside, Queens, where the mayor spoke just a short time ago. Morgan.
Okay, I get the comment now. Okay. So they already gave him this money, and I guess they had to go to a trial. They had to go to court, and a judge had to revoke the decision that they made. So y'all already gave them the 80 million, and now it's all being taken. Is it because of what Trump is doing now? Oh snap. I mean, I'm not even gonna say that's crazy, because if they're here illegally, right? And what's crazy, right? Those that go through human trafficking and stuff like that, they get help, they get support. But if they don't know about it, they're not going to get it. But it's crazy what they got to go through, right? Yo, I can honestly say I'm stuck in between a nail and a wall when it comes to this, right? Because it's messed up what they got to go through, what they got to deal with on a daily basis, right? They're running from something, right? A lot of them get trafficked. They come here thinking that they're, being free. They're fleeing from over there, and then, to boom, get trapped over there. Like, it's not like they, let me put it like this. Some of them flee this way, right? But a lot of them are bought here. So let me break it down like that, because I think I was about to confuse everybody. And it's crazy, right? Because I feel as though they should get the help, but it needs to be done the proper way in order so that none of this happens. It needs to be done the proper way. So it's kind of like, damn, I know that a lot of them don't have the choice or the option because of how, they ended up here. But I think the ones that flee here, right, should ask for help or find a way to get that help, to get, that permission to be here. Or, it's hard to break down. But I'm hoping a lot of y'all could really understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to say, right? Because I'm really not trying to get on this live right now. I'm trying to let this live so that people can understand, where I'm coming from. Like, I gotta watch what I say. But it's messed up. It really is. But it is what it is. There's a legal way to do it, and there's an illegal way to do it. And right now they're doing it the illegal way. It is crazy.
Yeah, Steve, Natasha, and we're still waiting for federal prosecutors to formally drop those charges against Mayor Eric Adams. But Adams making his first appearance since the justice.
So they're dropping the charges towards him. 80 million in FEMA funding revoked. Okay, so they dropping what? Hold up. So are they getting the 80 million back? How are they going to get the 80 million back what if they already spent it? See, this is very confusing right here. Because if y'all gave them the money, what if they already spent it? And then y'all dropping the charges on the mayor? What the hell did the mayor do? Like, he was the reason? Well, yeah, he is the reason why they had the 80 million in FEMA funding. But if he's responsible, why y'all dropping charges? It's corruption.
Department released a memo taking about a minute worth of questions from reporters here in Sunnyside, Queens. But Adams hitting back at critics who say he'll be forced to carry out Trump's agenda, saying that he will be threatening legal action and looking into legal action as the federal government claws back some of this money given to the city for the migrant crisis.
I don't know what just happened, but she was talking a little slow like Lento Rodriguez, and then out of nowhere, her voice speeded up like Speedy Gonzalez. What happened? I guess the migrants hopped in her for 1 second. I'm talking about their spirits.
Look at the record. Look at what I have done.
Mayor Eric Adams says nothing will change in his interactions with President Donald Trump. Adams pushing back against critics who say that he will be forced to carry out Trump's agenda or face the possibility of having charges reintroduced.
We have fought for the safety of everyone in our care. There's nothing going to change with that. There's a level of consistency, what we have accomplished, and we're going to continue to do that.
But Adams' resolve is already being tested. City Hall confirming that the federal government has now clawed back more than $80 million in FEMA grants the Biden administration awarded the city to house migrants. Adams says that they are requesting an emergency meeting with FEMA and are exploring all legal options.
We have reached out to the White House. We want to find out exactly what took place. It was unfortunate the previous administration left us with a huge price tag, and we want to sit down and explain how we should believe that the cost of a national issue should not be on the backs of our city.
But immigration is one of the reasons why the Justice Department is asking prosecutors to drop the charges, writing in their memo that Adams' indictment was pulling his focus away from issues like illegal immigration and crime. Coincidentally, Trump's border czar Tom Homan is meeting with Adams in the city on Thursday. But Adams' attorney Alex Spiro insists that Adams never promised anything in order to get these charges dropped.
Of course not. That's absurd. There is no looming threat. This case is over. This case will never be brought back. It wasn't a real case in the first place.
So why would
now, despite Spiro's insistence that the case is over, the Justice Department told federal prosecutors that they can revisit the case after the November election. Reporting live, I'm Morgan Mackay. Steve Natasha, back to you.
Breaking news we want to tell you about this noon. 2 highway patrol troopers are on
Yeah, something not right on that situation with the mayor. Like, wait a minute. So why did they charge him to begin with? And then my thing is, how did they get the 80 mil back after they gave it to the people? I'm a little confused. But we're going to move on to the next topic. I'm catch an update on that and be a little better prepared the next time. This is crazy. So we got now troopers suspended, 180 cases dismissed amid questions about credibility. Oh, wow. And you know, that's what's crazy, right? That when these officers or lawyers or something like that, when they do something wrong or they get caught, let me put it like this, right? You know, doing something wrong, right? And they got to go to court and all that stuff. Whatever people they put behind bars end up getting free. That's the crazy part. That's why I was saying, like, we've been having a lot of conversations about, the Supreme Courts, about the courts, about, the civilians, about justice, trafficking, how can I put it like this? Drug dealers and much more, right? And trying to bring solutions to the table. And it's crazy, right? In certain situations, it ends up into a debate, right? But what I like about these hood conversations, right, that not everybody you get to calm down, right, and turn it back into a conversation, right? But when we do have these conversations and it's not turned into a debate sometimes, because trust me, it's like when it's a few of us together talking, it's like some people agree, certain people disagree, and when the disagreements are there, everything is turned into a whole debate. I'm sitting here like, everybody's just talking with no proof behind them. So, the whole conversation is always going to go by, oh, just prove it to me, show me, right? But how can we show you something, right, that we're experiencing and we're trying to tell you that nobody else could show you? My proof is me. My proof is my story, or the story that, is connected to me. But, like I said, a lot of people think there's no solutions, while a lot of us think there are solutions. And the people that, because it's crazy, I feel as though there's people caught in the middle, right? And I don't know if y'all understand about what I'm trying to say by that. It's like, I don't know how to explain. There's people that it's hard to tell, like, either you want the solution or you don't. Shit. But you see where I'm coming from? Like, and then they be like, I don't know, I gotta think, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But it's like they won't change their mind until you bring them the proof. They won't do their research. I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. It's like for the people that are waiting here, for Superman to come and save them. But in reality, only you can save yourself. This world is crazy. But let's listen to the story, man. I just think it's messed up, right? How when, certain people that has to do, when it doesn't matter who it is, right? That involves the law, right? When they mess up, every case that goes with them gets messed up and screwed up. That's the messed up part about it.
Administrative leave. Good afternoon to you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Racheal. Thanks for joining us. It started with an investigation into a deadly crash in October on Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh. The findings resulted in the Wake County District Attorney's Office dismissing 180 cases.
Damn. Chelsea Donovan just spoke with the district attorney and joins us now live at the Wake County Justice Center. Chelsea.
All right, so after speaking with District Attorney Lauren Freeman, she told me that she got word last month from someone within the SBI that had concerns about two of these troopers that responded to this deadly crash up on Capitol Boulevard. That crash happened on October 7th, and she found some information through dash cam and body cam video that the responding troopers' information may not have been entirely truthful and credible as to what happened within that crash. Now, this is video of that deadly crash on October 7th of last year. District Attorney Lauren Freeman says she saw evidence on dash and body camera video that may have indicated Trooper Garrett Maricario could have been providing misleading information. Now, Macario is 26 years old. He was hired on the force back in 2021. Freeman called him historically aggressive on driving while impaired cases. But as of this week, she's had to dismiss all of his cases. So that means all of his cases in which he brought about charges. This is close to 200 cases. Now, also, his supervisor, 40-year-old Matthew Morrison, has also been put on leave by the Highway Patrol.
I think absolutely. We believe that credibility among law enforcement is essential to the work that we do on a daily basis. And, we need, in order to be able to seek justice, we've got to be able to trust our officers. And frankly, when we can't, it's disgusting, and it results in us not being able to move forward and hold people accountable.
Now, Freeman told me that she anticipates dismissing the majority of Sergeant Matthew Morrison's cases as well. He's not on the road as much as Trooper Macario, so she doesn't expect it's going to be a high number, like close to 180. This is an investigation that's just started. It's important to note, though, right now, neither of these troopers have been charged with any crimes. They're simply being investigated by the DA's office as well as the SBI. Live in downtown Raleigh, Chelsea Donovan, WRL News.
As many people enjoy the weather.
Yo, that is crazy, yo. We're going to end this joint right here. I will be coming live tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the morning or in the afternoon, but I'm definitely going to be going live after I drop my shorty off. Guys, we're going to be reacting to current news. We're going to have random topics, right? I'm going to drop the link for anybody that wants to come up and talk, right? Let's talk about it, right? We got random topics, right? Random thoughts, right? We're not here to bash nobody down. And you know what? I'm taking into consideration a lot of people, right? So I'm going to drop the cussing down a lot, right? And, we're going to hopefully get monetized on this drawing so that we can bring the games back, right? To test your noggin and much more to give back to the, subscribers and that stuff like that. So we is on a mission to 1,000, man. If you haven't subbed up, make sure y'all sub up because it's shorty. Listen, I don't schedule lives. I just pop up, man. If y'all enjoyed the stream, make sure y'all smash that like button for a shorty, man. It's their fault if something happens. Yeah, facts. I've been on here, 2 hours, 30 minutes, man. And I only got 2 hours of getting me either some relaxation or some sleep, y'all. But I want to, thank all of y'all, right, that are sitting here supporting a shorty, rocking out with a shorty. Those that understand that a shorty has, a regular life out here, that I can't always come, live, right? But I do have these uploads, right? I do have the shorts channel. We have the backup channel where I upload a lot of premieres, videos that are over an hour, right? I also do, I also go to panel, I don't hop on everybody's panels, but I do hop on a lot of panels, and those videos will be uploaded on that backup channel as premieres. So make sure y'all go check out those lives, right? because I've sat here and I've actually networked and built with a lot of great content creators that have a lot of great ideas, have a lot of solutions, right? That say they have small businesses, right? That are also, sitting here and trying to make differences in their communities, right? I appreciate each and every one of y'all that's rocking out with a shorty, man. Those that share the videos, right? And like the videos, right? Believe it or not, right? Those of you that share my videos, like my videos, right? Especially the lives, right? It does help a shorty get into the algorithm, right? To bring more awareness, especially with these type of panels, right? These type of channels that we have, right? A shorty is very positive, right? And then I do bring awareness to a lot of, trafficking. I do bring awareness to a lot of, stuff that's happening, around us, right? Currently, right? And I hit on topics that a lot of people are either scared to touch on, right? Or how can I say it, don't want to touch on because of other people's opinions, right? They don't want to deal with the debate, and they don't want to hear what, other people got to say. Listen, we all got opinions. Opinions are like assholes. We're not here to judge y'all. And like I said, I ain't debating a solution. Now you got some proof about, something that you got to say, and you want to debate about something that, I've said on something that's happened in the past. Hey, you're more than welcome, right? We do be having the lives where we, which is going to be happening this weekend. We're going to go down the rabbit hole again, right? We're going to dive down the rabbit hole, and we're going, how can I say, explore our past, right? The history with our ancestors, presidents, wars, and much more. We're also going to dive down the rabbit hole, right? On, the past, the present, and the future, right? And, about the universe, right? And then we're going to also dive down the rabbit hole on the history of the Bible. So, we're going to be bringing back also, like, I'm going to see how I switch this up. Once I figure it out, y'all see it, right? We're going to bring back the caught on camera and the sex crimes, right? So I hope y'all ready, because there's a lot of cases out there that involve, kids going through what they go through with their families. But once again, like I said, we're going to bring back the caught on camera and the sex crimes, right? And if in the near future a shorty does get monetized, we're going to bring back the test your noggin, along with other stuff that, we'll give back to the subscribers, whether it's cash prize giveaways or, how can I say it, merchandise. So we're going to get back to that. Before it was coming out of a shorty's pocket, but you know what? I'm taking into consideration a lot of people are saying get monetized. So, hey, if the channel is blessed to get monetized, I am grateful, because that means that a lot of y'all are paying attention, helping the shorty bring awareness, right? And we're doing this for the right reasons, right? So, like I said before, I'm on this job because I'm bringing awareness, because it comes from my heart, because I care. I almost, they almost took my child from me. I've lost so many people in my life that at the end of the day, right, why not pass forward, right, on how I've overcome my obstacles, right? And in the process, let's have fun. Let's talk about what's going on, the current events. Let's bring solutions to the table, right? And those that have stories, like they've done, like people have done before on this channel, they've come up, they spoke, they've talked about it, right, to help motivate the next person, right? More people are more than welcome. These are all open panels, right? And if I don't have the link in the chat, y'all can always ask a shorty to drop the link. Y'all can give y'all perspective. Y'all can talk about a story. Y'all can talk about a current event, but y'all more than welcome to do that. We're not here to bash nobody down. We're not here to bring nobody down. We're here to talk and bring solutions to the table. If you can't do that, this is not the channel for you. So on that note, guys, right? Till next time, this is y'all shorty Rachel. Hope all of y'all have had a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble morning. And I'll see y'all on the next live.
In the face of darkness, I stand tall and strong. With faith as my shield, I'll keep marching on. You may try to bring me down. You may try to silence me. But the warrior in me will never give up. You'll see, through trials and tribulations, I'll keep the fight alive. With courage in my heart, I will continue to strive. In the face of darkness,